and today it's more of Warframe, because the Warframe community has actually been really awesome for me. Now, I know I mentioned the other day, yes, you cannot see my chat, but that doesn't mean I can't see it. One, I can hear it through my headphones, and on top of that, I'm able to see it on my phone, which I'm setting up right now. So I may not be able to actually... You may not be able to see it on stream, but I am able to see it. Don't think for a second I can't. I'm not trying to ignore the community, I'm just keeping people's names private.
Shall we show them the ridiculousness of the Limbo Prime?
Do we really need to? Everybody, I'm pretty sure everybody's seen Limbo Prime. Pretty sure you're just putting icing on the fucking cake.
True. But I'm gonna do it anyway, you realize that. Yeah. When you can cover 3 objectives at once, why not? That is the real question here.
Alrighty. Yeah, I'm missing him. Oh hey, no, I'm actually...
I forgot which build I have on my Nakana right now.
Good job.
Whoops. Oh well. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
There we go. Okay, get that done. Do that. Okay. I'm kind of running my Docker with healing, and I'm kind of just trying to burst damage.
Yeah, that works.
Kind of hard to get my energy regen though when everything's not moving.
My bad.
Oh well, I'll deal with it.
Oop. Let me back in the void, thank you.
Well, the good news is I realized that this build is actually able to self-sustain, so...
Which one? The
Rage build. Which I was unsure about, I'm not gonna lie. Potentially, so long as I use my Exalted Blade and keep taking damage to my health, I heal faster than I can die. And my energy just goes up because I'm using Rage.
Tower lost.
I was almost kind of tempted to bring my not Docret, Destreza, and see if the critical chance would buff my...
Stack up to what you need?
Yeah. I mean, I'm still able to kill things, it just takes a little bit longer.
Yeah. That's kind of like with my Nakana. It takes a couple of swings, but once I get that combo going...
And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm alright with using Docra. Oh fuck, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
But,
I don't know.
like I said, just the... I was unsure if the Docra was going to be able to do enough damage. Which, I mean, it is. If I'm using Exalted Blade, it really is. And plus the healing is just sustaining me better.
Yeah.
And plus every once in a while I just throw out Radial Blind if I can't kill anything.
Yeah. Is that how you get the assassination things with him more often?
Yes. Cool.
What is it supposed to be? It's supposed to be Radial Howl, isn't it?
For Umbra, yes.
For Umbra. I think it's kind of funny how that turned out, right?
Yeah, fucking Lightning Wolf getting Radial Howl on Excalibur.
Oh wait, it's not just that. For Hanzo, my main character,
Oh my god.
it's Storm Arrow now.
Yeah. It's like everything's just benefiting you at the moment.
Yeah. What on earth? Something is hitting me.
Yeah, something's hitting me too here. I'm just gonna quickly do that. I'm gonna make sure I kill these guys. Yeah. Excuse me.
It detected another message incoming. Capture and decode.
So real quick, I'm just gonna
Yeah,
grab
you
this.
got that one. I'll go do this, and I'll capture this one.
Okay, then I'll just dash up to D here.
Yep.
Just gonna jump out of the Exalted Blade real quick. Throw out my energy thing while I'm standing in your rift, just to freaking get my energy up. Just while there's no enemies here.
We're not.
I don't want to drain energy.
Oh, there's
while
enemies
no
here.
enemies.
It's just they're not.
Well, I didn't want to, while we were waiting for the next wave to spawn, I didn't want to
Yeah.
be draining energy while there's nobody here.
Yeah. And there's no point to be draining any energy.
I mean, it drains rather slowly to begin with, maybe 2 energy a second, but
We are done. Keep it up.
But yeah, I've noticed something. The bleeding that I have on my Nakana. Holy cow!
oh yeah.
It just tears through them like it's nothing. Speaking of which, what does corrosive damage do again? I for some reason can't remember.
Damage just dissipates. I want to say dissipates, but it kind of gets rid of enemy armor.
Oh, so that might be a good.
That's why Saren's
damage type to put on
extremely
here.
good.
That might be a good damage type to put on Nakana then, right?
Yeah.
Quick strikes, and it seems to proc that kind of stuff quite often, or at
Well,
least
if
it
it
procs
has
bleeding
good
a
status
lot.
procs, then sure, why not?
Well, here's the thing. I never understood the status proc thing, just because there are weapons that have like high status procs and then just almost never proc a status effect.
Yeah.
And then there's weapons that have lower ones that just proc it almost all the time.
Well, you gotta find the status chance of the weapon, and if it's got a good status chance, then it has a higher chance of building and hitting those status effects. But if you're using like
That's
something
what I
like
thought. Yeah, but that's what I thought.
I
But
think
it doesn't.
Destrezza's got like a 20. Actually, well, no, regular Destrezza has like a 18% crit chance, but its status chance is only like 5%. So you would not be trying to use Destrezza as a status weapon, because
Yeah.
it just wouldn't proc it. But meanwhile, you wouldn't want to be trying to use a status weapon for a crit weapon.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like the status chance on Nakana is actually, I think, like the standard 20, right?
No,
Not, like, super
20 is
high
not
at
standard.
all.
That's actually a pretty
Really,
decent.
what is the normal?
A lot of weapons will have somewhere around 15.
Really?
15 is standard. If you're getting a weapon that has a 20% or higher crit or status chance, then that's you want to build it for crit or status corresponding. Which is why I kind of built my Destrezza for crit, because it's got a 24% crit chance.
Yeah.
Like, you
But I
wanna
have
make
other
sure-
weapons that have the same status chance as Nakana, but don't apply the status chance.
It could just be the
or don't-
weapon,
this-
like,
It's just a weapon type.
yeah, it could just be the weapon type. Like, you have to perform a certain combo to actually get it to proc properly.
And that would explain why, because Nakana, you just the first strike usually, the first and second.
Because slash isn't always obvious.
This is
but
true.
at the same time, neither is like knockback. Well, I mean, obviously knockback is, but puncture is one of the lesser noticed procs, which I believe puncture actually also slightly lowers enemy armor.
And Nakana does proc that every once in a while too. It hits its bleeding a lot more though.
Yeah. Well, obviously it's a sword, so it's going to make enemies bleed more. If it's got a high slash damage,
Particularly
then it's
sharp
going to...
sword.
If it's got a high slash damage, then of course it's going to proc bleeding.
Yeah. Well, my question was the corrosive damage. Do you think because of the 20% chance for the status?
You very easily could go with corrosive.
Yeah.
A lot of people will go viral because it halves an enemy's health. Oops, my phone fell over.
That's true as well.
Because somebody texted me.
But if they have a lot of armor, it doesn't always matter how much health they have.
Yes, and that's kind of where people will switch back and forth. Because...
I might fool around and see, right?
Yeah, it's kind of just
so
what
I
you
can
want to
kinda
go
figure it out.
and do.
Could you potentially put both?
I mean, potentially if you had enough mod slots, but you'd be seriously sacrificing your, fuck, what's it called? Slash damage. You'd be getting rid of your slash damage to get both viral and proc. Or viral and corrosive, which, in the end, you're just lowering your damage to make it so that the enemy is weaker.
True.
So it's just basically
there's
going
no
to make
point in
it...
it. Just go one or the other.
Yeah.
I might try both, right? And just to see what happens. Because
Each
you never
works
know.
against certain enemies. Grineer are much tougher with their armor, but the Corpus usually have health available where you could just use that viral and half their health. So it's
but they have lower armor, so my bleeding just cuts through them like it's nothing.
Exactly.
So I think I'll probably go with the corrosive and take down the armor. And I already have high bleeding, so it's... There's no point.
It all depends on what and who you're fighting.
And the weapon you're using.
Exactly.
Obviously.
Because, I mean, heat damage does better against, fuck,
Infested.
Yeah, infested. Ah, go away. Who's slowing me? Oh, it's you. Come here. There we go. There we go.
But yeah, with as much as this thing procs, man.
Yep.
I'm using the one combo on one of these guys, and I'm just going to see how much it drains them. It drains his health quite quickly. But then if I do the combo again, it applies even more bleeding. If I do the combo to their half health, I can leave that one guy for the most part.
Yeah.
And he will lose all of his
Like
health.
I said, Warframe is kind of a big game of rock, paper, scissors. You want to be fighting the right enemy to do the right damage against them at the right time.
Yeah.
Like, that's really all it is.
Yeah. I'm trying to make Nakana, though, that balanced
there's
weapon,
no
right?
perfect weapon. But at the same time, that's why we have an arsenal.
Yeah.
Because that way we're able to carry 3 weapons. If we mod them all differently, then there's no problem, really.
True. I think Nakana is a very good balance, though, of all, right?
Yeah.
Especially with the bleeding for the Corpus, right? And then if I make the corrosive damage on here, it'll mess up the Grineer quite easily then.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I will say, I'm liking this rage build for my Excalibur. It really makes him more survivable. Makes him more of a tank. And it allows you to just basically use Exalted Blade infinitely. Also, this may or may not be confirmed, but I'm pretty sure for Radial Blind, enemies actually have to be facing towards you for it to actually proc. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on this. I'm not
I
familiar with how
don't
it works.
think so.
No, you know what? I'm gonna try it right now. Okay, no, it doesn't matter.
I'm about to say, I don't think it did matter, so.
I just tried it on a guy. No, it doesn't matter.
Hoo, 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 hoo. I got caught outside the void there for a second.
Oh, they're gone. Alright. Yay, we did it!
The data you have collected here today
Yep.
will go
6,000 Kuba. Yay!
Yay.
I can see if I can
And
get
it's
another...
better than what I got. I got the ice hand sculpture again.
Well, that's not terrible, though.
How?
Because, remember, you're gonna need a buttload of endo for when that next update comes out.
That's true. But I do have a crap ton of endo in the first place.
I gotta text somebody here.
I might
'cause
try
they're
the,
spamming me.
I might try the corrosive damage and just see. Right? Because why not?
Yeah. I gotta talk to him. I gotta send him a message.
Who?
Somebody who's texting me and inviting me.
Hmm.
There we go. Anyways, so Excalibur actually worked really well. I was able to go take damage and not be afraid, so
Yeah.
that actually works phenomenally well. I was actually really happy to see that that worked in a sortie. I was actually seriously terrified about bringing him in there. Legitimately, I was.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sitting there freaking out, like, oh my god, he's gonna die, oh my god, I'm gonna die, oh my god, this is gonna be horrible, and it really wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Mortis is angry. I may require.
Oh, jeez, excuse me. I am gonna grab my Vobin again, just because I'm having a hell of a lot of fun with him.
Yeah.
I like using Cernos with him. Actually, you know what? I might carry this Dakra on me, just because it should heal me a little bit if I take damage. I mean, I should be okay, but... I'm switching out Haiku, though. Don't want to freaking kill myself. Ralph. Excuse me. God. That poutine, man. Oh my god. Yeah, you know what? I'll grab Aklex, because why not?
Excellent armaments, operator. Please return
Alright.
covered in blood. Safe and sound.
So really quickly, you said you wanted to get the Boltor, like the faction Boltor, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit more missions with my Arbiters. If you want to join me for that.
I'm gonna try the corrosive, right?
Alright.
And here's the only thing though. It drops it by a little less than 100. Well, probably not even a full 100 in damage, which it already
Okay.
deals. It already almost dealt like 2,000 damage. So
Yeah.
Actually, no, wait. Hang on. What did it...
I'm gonna
I
switch
have
out
to
the
go check my
controller here
notes.
because this controller's kind of screwing up on me. Give me
Oh,
a sec here.
1,300, and it dropped it. And I dropped it once for the healing mod, which...
It's not terrible.
And then I dropped it by 100 again for the corrosive damage, but the corrosive damage... I'm gonna see if it weighs out
Yeah, that's not terrible.
in the end, right? Huh?
That's pretty good. It's not bad.
Yeah. And it's not supposed to be the heaviest hitting weapon in the game anyway. It's supposed to be a rather balanced weapon. Good speed and good damage. Along with good crit and the good the good status effect apparently.
Alright. Oh shit.
You got
I need my
Cernos
phone.
again?
I do have Cernos. I told you I was grabbing Cernos.
This embryonic
Oh yeah, that's right.
reactor has been recalibrated to wreak havoc on Tile Regor's cloning operation.
Alright. Let's do
Defend
this.
the injector for as long as possible
Grab some
to
energy.
ensure maximum damage.
One reason I love using Cernos with the Bobin is because I use my third ability. You just hold them up in the air
Yeah.
and then I just snipe them while they're freaking helpless.
True.
And it's just hilarious. Like, they'll be trying to hide behind cover and stuff, and I'll just, oops, you're stuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably should have switched off Tigris for this, but oh well.
Oh well.
I imagine there'll be another mission.
Oh yeah. There we go. Yeah, I don't mind that stance.
Might have to take this to the simulacrum to actually get an accurate test.
What?
The Nakana build.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Oh, we'll do that after the stream's over.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, if I do kill, I can kill them with Cataclysm Shadow, and it does replenish my energy.
Oh, okay, awesome.
They have to be basically inside it, right?
Yeah.
So, like, say they're all around objective, and I throw Cataclysm on the objective, and then it kills them, then it'll count.
Okay.
But if they're, like, just constantly walking into it, it doesn't count. Unless when they walk into it, I think, is when they actually die. Because when you walk in and out of the thing as an enemy, you take damage both ways.
Yeah.
So, I think they have to walk into it for it actually to count, and that doesn't always happen. That's why if I do it this way, like this, and I
Yeah.
kill people with it, it actually gives the energy back. Or some of it, at least. Either way, as long as I'm getting the energy back for the kills, I'm fine.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're able to self-generate energy so easily, it's like being there.
Yeah.
It's not absolutely
I messed around with it
necessary
for
your kit.
a little while and just to tinker and see, right?
I mean, obviously, if you
And
weren't
on my
running
other limbo,
flow,
yeah.
if you weren't
Yeah.
running flow, I would definitely
but that was the original reason.
Yeah.
Now that he's max rank, I have all the spots I need, so it's not an issue.
I mean, every Warframe you have to build kind of differently, so...
Yeah.
Vobin's one of those
And
ones
there's
that's
nothing
just
wrong with
way
tinkering
harder to
around and
build.
seeing what works better, so...
Vobin's a frame where it's really hard to figure out what you actually got to do for him. Because you kind of have
Yeah.
to balance everything. Like, I'm... Oh, what's it
Range?
called? Yeah, range. Because duration makes it so that my things will stay longer. Strength makes
Yeah.
it so that they do more damage.
What?
Internet connection quality is currently not sufficient to broadcast gameplay. Fuck! I'm gonna just try this real quick.
Yep.
Both
So it looks like I'm not the
audio,
only one
and
having
gameplay
issues.
are okay. So my gameplay is being broadcast again. I'm okay.
Yay! Looks like I'm not the only one having internet issues
No,
today.
I almost didn't do the stream because I was suffering with internet issues earlier.
Yeah.
Like I posted a thing on my channel earlier. I don't even know if it went through. But it was basically saying, "Hey, stream's gonna be delayed due to the internet connection." So.
I was just on your channel, I didn't see it, so...
Yeah, it probably didn't go through.
It probably didn't go all the way through yet.
Like, I posted that at 6, so if it hasn't gone through yet, then probably just cut itself out after so long of trying. I was kind of just watching his health tick away from my Teslas.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I end up kind of doing that every once in a while, too. I inflict the
Oh,
one guy with,
shit.
like, bleeding, and I'm just watching him. What?
My Tesla's just destroyed a guy.
N- She's been a long time since I played Vobon as well. Uh-oh. I think I figured out why your thingies are working in here, Shadow.
Why?
It's because it's getting overloaded.
No, because these guys were still frozen over here.
Yeah, I just reamped it. Between you throwing the little thingies out
No,
and
it still works.
It still works?
I just threw
Okay.
it. I think it's the guys with the Telos Bolta or Boltus. Whatever those pistols are called. It's the companions that are doing it.
Yeah. Either way, it's getting overloaded.
Oh, for sure.
It's not good.
There's a lot of gunfire going.
This was the other reason I was looking at working with Nakana, because it strikes really fast, right?
Yeah.
So it's it does its job pretty well normally, but I'm trying to see if I can make it do a little bit better.
Yeah.
And if I can lowering the damage means I can actually kill something faster because it's tearing away their armor, right? I personally think it might be an okay trade, but that's why I want to go test it in the simulacrum.
Yeah. Well, that's why you test everything in the simulacrum.
Yeah. Like we tested the range of this bubble.
Yeah. Which, mind you, effing ridiculous.
I can't help that.
Oh.
If you're gonna do something, do it right.
There's the difference between doing it right and doing it insanely.
Yeah, the line for that blurs together quite often, so it's fine. Yeah, I think my codex thing is gonna be filled up pretty soon.
Yeah. I mean, you just gotta fight all the
Helios
different
is-
types of enemies. Like, run a couple
Yeah.
missions with each faction. You'll scan everything.
Yeah. Yeah, Helios is getting quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Helios doesn't even scan much for me anymore, just because there's not much for him to scan. Because he's already
Yeah.
filled out his codex.
By the way, later on, it doesn't have to be... Oh, and they overloaded my stasis again.
Of course.
Doesn't have to be, like, right away. But, we can try to get some more of the... I want to try to sell some of my river mods, so if you can help me with that.
Yeah, we could try.
You have better luck at getting a hold of people than I do.
This is true.
For some reason. And no joke, we would literally were in the same freaking chat. And I think we were both trying to sell Ash or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Just a full Ash set. We both went with the same price. Said the exact same thing. Everything was the exact same for both of us.
Except I was the one that got
He
the
got like
answer.
12 offers, and I got one guy saying, "Can I give you 5 plat for it?" That's how ridiculous my luck is. It's just like, nope, this does not work.
Does not compute. Does not compute.
Does not compute.
Actually, on a completely side note, though, just real quick, I don't want to take up too much time for this. I do want to send out my condolences to Markiplier. Today, he was originally going to stream today, much like I was. His reason, he ended up canceling his stream due to the fact that he had just learned like a half hour before he was about to start his stream that his niece had passed away. She had gotten into a car accident and unfortunately she didn't make it. So real quick, I just want to say, Mark, we love you. Like, keep going. Like, we're all there with you. So yeah, just real quick, wanted to say that. And yeah, I mean, there's no way I could understand that, but I do know what it's like to lose a person. So Mark, your community is with you every step of the way. Anyways, on to happier notes. I hear crickets. Do you hear crickets?
I hear crickets, do you?
Yeah, I hear crickets. Anyways. No, I can't shoot in here. Anyways, on to the...
I'm back.
Okay, let's start making speculations. Neither you nor I have seen anything to do with the sacrifice.
Yeah.
So we know that the sacrifice is it's focusing on the story of the Warframes, like the lore of the Warframes. And we know that
Yeah.
Umbra's story is tied heavily into it. Because he's the quest reward for it, which, I mean, that was unavoidable. Like, that's not much of a spoiler in itself.
Yeah.
Clearly he's got something to do with the quest. But, so what, on the topic of the warframes, what do you anticipate is actually inside of them? What do you think makes the warframes tick?
I feel like it has something to do with the void, personally.
Really?
There's a couple theories going around. There's a couple that I think of as possible, such as the infested inside the warframe.
That's the one I'm thinking. I'm thinking
That's one.
the infested, like, obviously the Helminth. We've seen what the Helminth says to the warframe compared to how it despises the Tenno.
Yeah.
And like me and you went in there and looked at that. Me and you personally went into the Helminth chamber and looked at what it said.
Yeah.
Because I just went in there to screw around for shits and giggles and see what the Helminth wanted to say to Tenno, and it actually started praising my Tenno, whereas my warframe it called a demon.
Yeah.
Or sorry, wait, no, it's the other way around.
Yeah.
They
I was about to
praised
say,
my warframe, but
I know what you were trying
hated,
to say.
Yeah, sorry, my brain just wasn't working there.
Yeah.
They were praising my warframe, but hated the Tenno. Like here, real quick, I'm just gonna switch to Nidus. Because he's currently the
show
only
them
one.
what you're talking about?
Yeah, just to show what the heck I'm talking about here, so I'm not spitting fire at my
I think
ass.
it might. I'm not sure. Because you're right, it does praise the warframe, and the infested theory makes sense if we're going with what we're getting from that specifically.
Yeah, see, look. I entered
But here's
the
the
room
thing.
as Nidus, and it says, Master, only my voice has returned. But meanwhile, if I hold the door open as Nidus, and head over with my Tenno, I'm not going to get nearly the same response. I enter the room as my Tenno. Sometimes it doesn't work right away.
He has issues.
Sometimes it doesn't work right away. Come on. Say something to me. I'm going to try this one more time. Hold the door open. Alright. Talk to my Tenno. Okay, yeah. And then I walk in with my Tenno. It says, the demon is awake. How?
Yeah.
So clearly the infested does not like the Tenno. Let's be totally honest here. The infested does not like the Tenno. But for what it doesn't matter what warframe you enter it with. I've just grabbed Nidus because it's the only warframe that currently has a fully grown cyst on it. Or not even that. Nidus is able to hold the door open. He doesn't need a cyst.
Yeah.
But if you do that with any warframe, that's the response you'll kind of get. Whether it's Nidus or Vauban or whatever. But if you go and do that, then you'll see that it hates the it hates the Tenno but loves the warframe. So that's kind of why I'm like, it's gotta have something to do with the infested.
Yeah. But then here's the real question. How come the Tenno can control the warframe if the infested hate the Tenno?
Transference bolts.
True, but how did that come to be? That's my question.
Well, obviously it was probably something to do with Ballas. Ballas probably designed the warframes with the infested in them, and in order to fully control them, possibly even the Orokin actually, in order for anyone to be able to control the warframes, they installed transference bolts, and to actually control a warframe, you probably had to master transference. because we don't
Which
actually
the Tenno
just
did.
yeah, which we did, and we know that the Tenno mastered transference because in the War Within, we control more than just the Warframe. We control this Ayatan worm-like thing. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. I just scanned objective.
So I mean, it could be infested, but
True.
the most common theory is that the Warframes are infested.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think
That's
that
the
interaction with
common-
the Helminth is explanation enough.
Yeah. And that is
So,
true.
I mean, I could
I'm
be,
thinking they're.
like I said, I
I'm
could very well
hoping
just
that they
be
give
spitting
us
fire
more
up my ass.
That's true. Won't be the first time.
Yeah, I know, especially after I eat Mexican food. Woo-wee.
My hope is that they might do something with the Tenno as well. Because not just the Warframe, because they've already hinted strongly at the infested being inside the Warframe.
Well, let's be honest here. We already know the origins of the Tenno. The Tenno were children of the Zariman 10-0.
Yeah, but still.
And when the adults went crazy due to void poisoning, the children somehow mastered the void and were able to control it. Which is something the adults just weren't able to do. So while the adults were murdering each other on the upper floors, the children were hiding in the decks, waiting for it all to settle.
Yeah.
And so we know that. That's something that's confirmed, like that's in the lore. I mean, there's comics for it too. It's in Rel's story.
Yeah.
Like, we learn about the Zariman 10-0 and what happened during the Chains of Harrow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't really think we need any more lore on the Tenno. But I definitely think more Warframe
True.
information would be...
Yeah, but it's already hinted at a lot. So it would just be confirming that one thing that we know. And
But,
personally,
I mean, like I said, my theory could very well just be me spitting fire up my ass.
and
It could have
this is
nothing
true.
to do with the infested, and you could be right. It could be something to do with the void and the man in the wall and some sort of void demons controlling the warframes.
Yeah.
So, like, I have
Because it was
no
obvious
freaking
that there was
clue.
more to Rel, because he was one of us. He was a Tenno.
Yes, exactly.
But he
is a
had
Tenno.
a lot more abilities than the average Tenno did.
Yeah. And in order for him to
there's obviously
survive, he
something
ended
more.
up binding himself to his own warframe.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if, for whatever reason, he was able to contract void poisoning on top of mastering transference. I'm not.
True.
I'm not certain of what led to Rel's death. But in order for him to live on, he bonded himself to his warframe. And then when we finally released Rel, he that was kind of him accepting his death.
Yeah. And then we get this creepy little thing running around our ship.
Well, I mean, you do. I don't have any problems, actually. Like, I've legitimately never had that thing running around my ship.
Really?
Yeah. Legitimately never. And I've always kind of
show up
wanted
quite
it
often
to.
for me.
I might run the Chains of Harrow one more time, just to see if it actually does it.
It'll pop up again. But for me, it just pops up randomly. I'll come back to my ship and I'll just hear, "Hey, kiddo,"
Yeah,
and
no,
it's just sitting
legitimately
there like,
that
"Hi."
never happens.
Really?
The only time that's actually happened was the first
At the
time I
very
ever
end.
ran the Chains of Harrow. That was
Yeah.
the first and only time it happened.
It's
It
been
has
happening
never
quite often
happened
for
since.
me.
I'm kind of
It's
wondering
been
why the
happening
man
quite
in the
often
wall
for me.
calls us kiddo. I'm wondering what kind of connection that has to...
To us.
Yeah.
Well, I sent you that screenshot, right? I've sent you several screenshots of different locations my Tenno have just popped up.
Yeah. But I mean, that the locations of where he pops up is kind of just random.
Yeah.
He'll kind of spawn
But-
wherever the heck
yeah.
he wants. It's kind of a random generated
But
thing.
I've gone to the Tenno room and he's just sitting there, like, leaned up against the door before.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of sitting back like, wait, what? What are you doing out?
He has his own sentience. And I'm wondering, I'm wondering if that's actually Arteno being controlled by the Void Demon, as such, during the War Within. Where...
I don't
like,
think
right
so,
at the end of the War
because-
Within, like, no matter what path you choose, your eyes kind of go with the man in the wall type thing.
Yeah.
And then you get some sort of voice line from the man in the wall, depending on the path you choose.
Yeah. Hey, kiddo, what took you so long?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it could very easily, like, I don't know if it's just us being controlled, or if it's a whole other manifestation of our
I think it's a whole nother manifestation, because think about it. Our warframes would have been affected by it, because the Tenno is what controls the warframe.
Yeah.
Our warframes still have free, complete realm of motion, not to mention we can transfer into our Tenno and go up next to it.
True. But yet again, that may
So
just
I
be a
think-
non-canonical thing.
True, but if we're thinking about it logically,
I agree.
it would make sense that that would be a manifestation or a vision that our Tenno's having.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not actually there, it's just a vision that our Tenno is seeing.
I can agree with that. Excuse me. Holy
And that would
smokes.
explain why our warframes aren't affected by it, where we can still move around and control our warframes, and how come our Tenno can come over and see it.
True.
By the way, I've been so tempted just to look up stuff for the sacrifice quest.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm seriously tempted. By
We
the way,
have,
when is
like-
it supposed to be coming out?
Okay, so they said, like, the last few days of June or early July. They want to get it out before TennoCon. And TennoCon is July 7th. So today's the 23rd, I want to say? 23rd?
Yeah.
Where's my phone? 24th. Today's the 24th, okay. So, less than a week optimally.
Yeah.
It could potentially be, like, this week that we get it. But
Could
at
be
the same
tomorrow.
time, it could be next week.
Hops online, Warframe tomorrow.
Oh my
The
god.
sacrifice
I would
has
cry.
been released.
Legitimately, I would cry. Just because I've been having
you
so
cry
much
about
fun with
everything.
Excalibur recently.
You cry about everything, though. That's the thing.
I want to know what happens to
Cry,
Space
baby.
Bomb.
Space Mom dies.
Yeah, that's my running theory. I'm pretty sure Space Bomb dies. Every part of me wants to say Space Bomb dies.
You don't want it to happen, though. I know
No.
you.
No, I don't want it to happen. It just
Me, I
every
don't- I
fiber
really
of my
don't
being.
care.
Every fiber of my being is telling me Space Bomb dies.
Personally, I don't care.
Of course you don't.
But
But I
yeah, it
love
is
Space
neat,
Mom.
so.
And Space Ant. Well, Rebecca is Lotus, but then Megan is Valkyrie's Scream, so, you know, Space Ant.
True, true.
Don't mind me. Yeah, it's the last wave. There. Oh, is there another burst up there? Here, go ahead and take it down.
I will consider what I've learned from this skirmish.
Ah, 75,000 standing. God damn it. So I need another 50,000 standing to be able to actually get your Boltor.
It's okay.
So it'll take a few days for us to actually get it, but...
Yeah. I'm not in any hurry, remember?
Bro. Excuse me.
However, I have achieved something else.
Oh no.
I
Also,
actually need
another
to head
thing.
back to the Strata relay.
Oh, okay.
My mastery rank thing is done.
Oh, yay.
I need to go practice.
Okay, so you go ahead and do that then.
Okay.
But another thing I was thinking about is that the fuck, what's it called? The Umbra frames.
Yeah.
I want to know if we get more, and if we do, what are going to be the requirements for the Warframe to actually get them? Are they all going to be quest rewards like Umbra? Are they all going to be that easy to get?
I don't know.
I mean, it would be a treat for the
Umbra is
veteran
supposed
players
to
who
be
actually do their shit.
was released to give everyone a more powerful Excalibur kind of idea, right?
Yeah, I can see that.
And it kind of turned out to be a little bit better than Excalibur Prime himself.
Yeah, it's like a whole 2%
So-
better.
Yeah. But I honestly don't know. The reason there's an Excalibur Umbra is because not everyone was able to get Excalibur Prime.
Yeah.
So that was, I think, what was the original
Console players
compensation,
got
and
screwed
then
on
they
that.
just, yeah.
Console players
And I
never
think
got
that's
the
why
chance
they,
to get Excalibur
and I
Prime.
think that's why Umbra was created, was to fix that.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be the Prime without being the Prime, kind of deal. But then it kind of changed in, and I think they figured out other things for him.
Yeah.
With that said,
One thing I do want to
it
note, though,
very well.
is that on the Umbral mods, there
Yeah.
is, on top of, like, on, like, the Warframe mods, like the vitality, intensify, like umbral intensify, umbral vitality, umbral fiber, those mods for the Warframe, they have something called Tau Resist.
Really?
And I have no idea what the hell Tau Resist is. The only thing that comes to mind is the original system for the Lotus and Hunhao, because their home system was in the Tau system. They came to our system, the Origin system, and sacrificed their fertility. So I want to know what the hell that's all about. Is it something for the future? Is it something that we're just not cluing in on?
It's very possible that there might be a mission in that area, because again, you and me haven't seen anything.
Maybe.
So for all we know, we could very well be visiting that dimension.
That could be true. Well, it's not really a dimension, it's a different location.
Different
outside
location.
of our solar system.
Other solar system, it's the same thing. Same difference to me. That's how I think, remember?
There's a difference between a dimension and a different solar system.
Yeah. I think here's the issue with me, right?
Oh.
I live in the void, so it's one of those like, I'm in a complete other world.
If by living in the void you mean in the middle of nowhere, then yes.
Yes. Well, that's true. Yeah, that's true on multiple regards. I live smack dab in the middle of nowhere. Okay, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to be able to complete this. Okay, here we go. I fixed it. The enemies were not spawning, so I
awesome.
can't complete this mission.
Yeah, that would be kind of difficult. I'm just running and getting the Iatan sculpture while you're doing that.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing the practice run for it right now, which is extremely easy.
Yeah, always practice first, because you never know what you're up for.
Yeah. Well, found out it was a defense, but the enemies are such low level they walk into the bubble and they die. So, it's quite easy.
Hey, guess what kind of Iatan sculpture I got?
What?
Saw. We're the Knights of Osiris.
Keep telling you, in comparison to you, I'm a saint. I think that's an inside joke. I'm not sure if anyone actually knows.
Yeah, I think it is.
is.
That's definitely an inside joke. But in any case, I will say thank you very much for anybody who has stopped by and anybody who watches this in the future. This was more just us goofing around and completing the sortie and whatever. And yeah, so hope you guys didn't mind my trash gameplay as Vobin. And if you find it at all cringy, go ahead and leave a thumbs up, because I'm all about that. So thank you very much. Exactly, we're edgy as fuck.
Don't forget edgy.
I mean, look at my Vobin. He's all about that edge.
Ugh. You should see this. You should see some of the stuff I have that he had me design for a character he wanted.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, listen.
Talk about
look at,
Edge Central.
That's my Zephyr. That's my Volt. That's my Wukong. Everything's got black. I mean, god damn it, look at my Oberon. It's all about that edge. The only Warframe that's sort of not edgy... God damn, I can't even think of a Warframe that's sort of not edgy. Oh yeah, my Excalibur. Which I've got a appearance for him where he's
Tenno,
Dex
there's a
caliber
time
fucking
limited
gold.
alert available. Check navigation.
But yeah, all of my Warframes are edgy. So if you're all about that edge like I am, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. And thank you guys very much for watching. And just remember, chaos is indeed essential. If you want to keep watching, I may do a Twitch stream in a little bit as well. So we'll see about that. But thank you very much for popping by. Chaos is essential. Without chaos, there can be no order. Take it easy, guys.